What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday over here. Hope you guys are doing well. Bitcoin currently is above 30.2K area. This looks very bullish for Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about this bullish signal that could be flashing as we speak right now. We're going to be getting into that for the Bitcoin charts. Of course, that's very important for the overall crypto markets because Bitcoin is the driver of the entire crypto markets. If Bitcoin goes up, chances are your altcoins are going to be going up with it. And if Bitcoin is bearish, then chances are your altcoins are going to be going down as well. So very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin regardless of what altcoins you guys are holding. So we're going to be taking a look into the charts later in this video. Actually, just very quickly right now. But the main topic of this post would be about ICP, would be about KASPA, would be about Tellor, TRB token. See what has gone on in these markets, taking a look into some upside and downside price targets for these coins, as well as some key price levels for these coins to break in order to go either direction. I'm going to be giving you guys my personal opinions and what I'm personally doing in this market later in this video, so make sure to be staying around for that. Of course, none of what I'm saying here is financial advice. It's purely my personal opinions and speculations. I could very well be wrong. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I an elite trader of any sort, even though I am a profitable trader who's been able to keep most of my profits during the last bear markets, and I'm looking to crush it here for the next bull cycle. So if you guys feel the same way, if you guys are feeling pumped on this Saturday morning, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's take a look into Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin right now is trying to get a weekly candle close on top of the weekly 200 SMA. Okay, which is, if we close like this on tomorrow, which the weekly candle closes tomorrow in a little over a day here, right? Then this is definitely a very bullish signal for Bitcoin and the crypto markets here, okay? Because the weekly 200 SMA is at about 28.3K area, okay? If we actually get that close, which looks like we are, but I'm not gonna be 100% sure because shit could always happen in the crypto markets very quickly. But I mean, we have a day left and it's Saturday and Sunday. We usually don't get a lot of price action, even though we are getting it today. Okay. So we're going to be taking a look. I mean, we're going to be keeping an eye out on this because this is going to be a very active situation this weekend. Okay. Now, even though Bitcoin is going to get that weekly candle close above the weekly 200 SMA, the next signal I am looking for here is for Bitcoin to actually break out of this rising channel pattern. And this is very clear on this daily time frame. Okay, it looks like it's trying to break out right now because rising channels are still bearish patterns. Okay. And if it doesn't break out of this and comes back down here to the bottom trend line for another swing, that is still a pretty steep retrace, okay? That's going to be taking you down to about, okay, there's going to be a little bit of a lag here, okay? It's going to be taking you down to about at least 27.2K area, and then that's going to be, sloping upwards, right? So you definitely don't want to see that if you're a bull in this market right now. And, we did get that daily 200 SMA close. We're looking for that weekly 200 SMA close tomorrow, something big to be looking for tomorrow. Don't sleep on that tomorrow, okay? So this is what I'm looking at. If we actually get a breakout of this rising channel, the next huge test for the crypto markets here is Bitcoin being able to break above 32K area. If it does, that is going to be huge, okay? Because we've been looking at this, we've been talking about this, not on a daily basis because Bitcoin has been moving just super slow, right? But if you guys have been following me, you guys know that I've been talking about this huge cup and handle pattern. At least not as recently because Bitcoin has been slow until this week, right? Then you guys know that this 32K area is huge resistance because since Bitcoin has actually broken below this in last May, it has not been able to get back on top of it, okay? Every time this price action gone very close to that 32K area, very, very, steep rejections, okay? You guys can see that earlier this year, and that would bring down the altcoin markets as well, okay? So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. This is the driver of the crypto markets. Let's take a look into ICP. Let's see what has changed since the last time we have spoken on this, which was very recently as well. So ICP in this falling wedge pattern, still in this falling wedge pattern. Okay, last time we talked, it was in the middle of this falling wedge pattern. It looks like it's trying to actually take another swing back up to this upward trend line, okay? Falling wedges usually break to the upside. There is still a chance it breaks down, but the probabilities are in favor for the bulls. If it actually breaks out of this falling wedge, then the measure move is going to be about $7.60 area, okay? That's basically if you take the opening of the pattern and then you put it on top of a expected future breakout date, okay? So I put it on the week of November 13th. That seems reasonable at this time. If it breaks out sooner, then we have a higher measure move. If we break out later, then we have a lower measure move, right? Measure moves are estimates only, okay? Do go ahead and Google search or chat GPT all these trading concepts I'm talking about here because it's public knowledge. So definitely familiarize yourself with these terms and these ideas, especially before this market gets crazy. So you actually know, what's going on in here just by looking at the charts, okay? So let's go ahead and take to the daily time frame here so we can see, if we can get any clues on what's happening, what could be happening on the higher time frame, on the weekly time frame. So let's look at the lower time frame and see if we can get any clues on what could be happening, okay? Now, daily time frame, talked about this double bottom scenario, okay? Neckline about $3.35 area. If this price action is actually able to break out of this double bottom, which usually break to the upside, measure move is going to be about $3 and I'm just gonna say $3.85 area ish. Okay, so that is basically what I'm looking at. Price action right now is at $3.23. So working its way towards that neckline of $3.35. Okay, something to be paying attention to. Now let's take a look at some key resistances and supports. Okay, I'm just going to be pointing out a few. You guys can go ahead and look into other key supports and resistances yourself. Okay, so key supports here, immediately daily 21 SMA, daily 50 SMA, both at about that $3.10 area. Okay, that's the blue and the gray line here. Daily 200 SMA, that's going to be at about $4.20, basically pretty in line with that upward trend line of that bigger falling wedge pattern. You guys can repeat the same exercise for the 3-day, weekly, monthly timeframes. Those are the timeframes I focus on personally. You guys can take a look into whatever timeframes you guys are interested in. Okay, so let's also take a look into previous trading history here. Let's see if we can get any other key support if this price action does break the daily moving averages, right? So it looks like, this price action has already came down to its all-time lows, right? At about $2.80 area, right? So if the daily 21 and 50 doesn't hold, I'm going to be looking at about $2.80 to about $2.90 area for your key support. Of course, if it breaks those key supports, then there's going to be lower price action and it's going to be in uncharted territory. So, if that happens, we can come back here and take another look to see what else could be happening in here. Okay, so if you guys do want to see more of ICP, do like, subscribe, and comment. I'll bring you guys another update if enough of you guys want to see it. Let's move on to KASPA. All right, KASPA here. Pretty amazing in here because it has not broken below this rising wedge pattern. Rising wedges typically break to the downside, okay? It's been staying away from this breakdown here. So that's, I mean, it looks pretty amazing, pretty bullish at this time because, frankly, I would have expected to break down already. But, you know, I could be wrong. As long as my mistakes don't become costly ones, okay? Then, you know, this is, I mean, I'm a short-term trader. I trade day in and day out, multiple trades a day, okay? In the past month or two, I have already done probably 200 trades at least. So I'm making mistakes day in and day out. As long as I make sure those mistakes don't become costly ones, I'm completely fine with it, okay? It is a fast game. Just gotta live with it. Now, let's go ahead and take a look into what could be happening here. Okay, this is still in the rising wedge pattern, okay? It has not broken out or broken down from it. So, this measure move, which is the opening of the pattern here, and then you put it below a future date on this bottom trend line here. I put it just Monday, October 30th. I'm not saying it does have to break down, but I'm just picking a future date that seems to be reasonable. So I can get a measure move, okay? Now, if it breaks down by October 30th, measure move is going to be about, you know, 1.3 cents area. Okay, that's a pretty steep drop. So let's see if this coin is able to actually avoid this breakdown. It has been so far, but very important that, you know, if you're a bull, you don't want to see a breakdown of this bottom trend line here. Okay, and you want to see a breakout of this rising wedge if you're a bull. Okay, so let's talk about a possible breakout as well. So if you want to actually see a breakout of this rising wedge pattern, right, you want to see at least a breakout of at least 5.7 cents area that is starting today. And this is upward sloping trend line. So, you know, if you guys have your chart drawn out like this, then you guys can basically make your own estimations on what the levels are to be watching out for a breakout. Let's take a look into some key supports and resistances. Key resistance, basically what I'm seeing here is this upward trend line, okay? It's going to be upward sloping, okay? Key supports, you have quite a bit of major moving averages below this price action. Daily 21 SMA, about 4.7 cent area. Daily 50 SMA, 4.5 cent area. Daily 200 SMA, 3.3 cents area. Repeat the same exercise for the 3-day, weekly, monthly timeframes, okay, for to identify moving averages, as well as previous trading history as well. Okay, we're not going to do that here for time's sake. Now, let's go ahead. Let's even take a look into a smaller time frame here and see if I can actually identify any possible patterns for you guys, okay? So this looks like a possible cup and handle here. If you guys look at the 4-hour time frame, which is usually a bullish pattern as well. Now, note that this cup and handle is not fully formed. I'm saying this is a developing cup and handle. It is not fully formed, okay? Because you still need the handle portion of the handle, at least here on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see if you have that on a smaller time frame. No. You're still looking for a little bit of a handle here, because really you just have the cup version, the cup portion of this cup and handle, right? So that is what it looks like. It is not a validated pattern. We can come back here and see if it validates, if it stays within this pattern, if it breaks out of this pattern, or if it breaks down. So if you guys want to continue seeing more of KASPA, like, subscribe, and comment. I'll bring you guys another update if enough of you guys want to see it. Let's go ahead and go to Tellor, TRB, see what is going on in this market because it has had a recent pump. Okay, let's come over here to the weekly time frame. I like to zoom out first and then zoom in. Okay, weekly time frame here. This looks like a huge cup and handle here as well that could be forming. Okay, I'm talking about right here where your neckline is going to be about $80. Okay, you had a you're gonna be connecting your trend line right here at $80. That's gonna be connecting that candle, that weekly candle from back in November 2021. Okay. To basically where we are at right now, last week's candle, right? Now, note that this is still a developing pattern. It is not a completed cup and handle pattern. I'm just saying this is what it looks like. In order for this cup and handle to complete, I am looking for another, for the handle portion of this pattern to develop, right? I'm looking for at least one more retest up to about $80 that would complete this cup and handle pattern, in my opinion. So that's basically what I'm looking at for Tellor. Let me see if we actually have a completed cup and handle on any other lower time frames here. Not even the daily. Okay, you're still looking for another candle up to about $80 to complete this cup and handle. So I don't see it even on the daily time frame here. Okay, so basically $80 is going to be your resistance right now, and we're seeing that kind of playing out right now. Okay, let's come over here to the daily time frame and see on a smaller time frame here what could be happening on this market. So daily time frame, I see a rising channel that has not been formed. So this is a possible rising channel because we don't have that third candle to the upward trend line, as well as that second swing down to the bottom trend line. This is a very rough sketch of what could be happening. Okay, this is not a completed rising channel. However, you don't want to see this complete. You want to see this break out of this upper trend line here. If you're a bull, okay, because rising channels are bearish patterns. They usually break down. Okay, so you definitely want to see it break out of $80, but right now it does look like you have quite a bit of divergence on the daily time frame. Very notable. Okay, probably on the higher time frames too. Right, so this is what I'm seeing. So a possible pullback for Tellor is looking likely right now at about that $80 level, unless it breaks out of this rising channel and breaks out of this $80 resistance. Okay, so that's basically what I'm seeing for Tellor. Let's take a look into some key supports and resistances. Okay, key resistance here, of course, is going to be your $80 area. Okay, that's going to be your key resistance. Daily 21 SMA is going to be your key support. About $54 area. Daily 50 SMA, about $42 area. Daily 200 SMA, way down there. Okay, it's about $19-20 area. So that's basically what I'm looking at on the daily time frame. Repeat the same exercise to identify moving averages and previous trading history for key supports and resistances as well. So that's basically what I'm seeing for these markets. I myself am a short-term trader, and I am basically leverage trading quite a bit of these altcoins here. I was a spot holder. I was holding spot longs for quite a bit of these altcoins until recently, where I have gotten more progress, more consistent progress doing leverage trading. I mainly trade in the direction of the more recent Bitcoin trend. So if Bitcoin has been going up in the recent trends, I am usually trading long, but that is not to say that I would not short any altcoins as well, especially that ones that has been pumping and are at resistance with a bearish pattern. So that's basically what I'm looking at. I would probably continue to leverage trade, even if into the bull market, because I am a proactive trader. I've gotten a lot more proactive, and I feel like I am in a lot more control when I am doing that. I used to just hold spot longs, and in bull markets, there's nothing wrong with that. But right now, I am more profitable doing leverage trading. Now, you guys, let me know what you guys are doing. Are you guys holding spot longs? Let me know what you guys are holding. Okay, where you guys are trading. What how are you guys trading? How is this market trading you? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.